There's been lots of discussion about the future of our co-op, and we just wanted to ask you a few questions today. Has there been any talks about ending the co-op?
Yeah, there have been talks about that. That kind of came up ever since we found out last year that we were going to have to move up to AA if we stayed with Wilton and Wing. Then there's been discussions about should we end the co-op or should we pare it down and just go with Wilton? What should we do? And so it's been talked about, but right now it doesn't appear that that's our first choice.
What is the general consensus of the group, or are there two opposing sides?
Well, I think in terms of what, fans and people in the community and maybe students and so on, there's two sides. I mean, I think there are some who probably think we should try and go on our own, but I think from what we had a community meeting last year in the spring, when we had parents and players there were more who felt like we probably should try and stay in a co-op with Wilton if we could. So we had a co-op meeting last week, and we met with administrators and school board members from Wing and also from Wilton. And we came out of that meeting with the idea that we would go to our school boards this week and ask them to approve a junior high co-op in 7th and 8th grade football for Wing, Wilton, and Washburn together, and then for varsity football only with Wilton and Washburn. And each board will have to act on that. So if one board says, no, we don't want to do that, then there won't be a co-op.
In the foreseeable future, due to increase or decrease in enrollment, do we ever see our co-op expanding to basketball or volleyball or any other sports?
Well, I think it's possible, but because our elementary right now is quite a bit larger than our high school, I think over 60% of our kids, or about 60% of our kids, are in the elementary right now, and our grades are getting larger. So I'm not sure I would see co-ops happening in the near future in basketball and volleyball, only because enrollment numbers are high. But a lot of that also depends on participation numbers. So if students simply aren't going to go out for a sport, really it doesn't matter how big your enrollment is, you probably have to consider a co-op at that point.
If we did leave the co-op and we went to our own division, would we go to Division A or would we go to 9-man?
If we played on our own as a varsity program, we would be a 9-man program.
And if we did quit the co-op, what would happen to Wilton and Wing? Would they go 9-man, or do we think they would even have a team?
Well, I guess my assumption would be, and I don't know if I'm right or not, is that they would try to go together and field a 9-man team. And they would try and field a 9-man team. We would try and field a 9-man team, but we would probably still co-op in junior high because you're trying to make a football team out of 2 grade levels. So it's really hard with our numbers right now to form a team without co-oping in junior high. So if any of the schools decide, as far as the varsity part of it goes, if Wilton decides not to go in with us in a football co-op, or if our board decides to vote it down, then I suppose they'd probably try to form a 9-man team. They'd have other options. They could try and get a co-op set up at the Bismarck schools. If it's the big Bismarck schools, it doesn't make any difference there. Then they're not going to move a division, but they'd lose a lot of participation numbers if they did that.
All right. Thank you for your time, Mr.
Thank you.